Okay, we're back. Going to wrap this pre-trip up, and right now we're going to be on part number 4, which is the outside of the tractor trailer. We're going to start by talking about the coupling device. We should be able to get at least 6 or 7 points here if we do it properly. Okay, the first thing you want to tell the examiner is you're checking your platform. Your fifth wheel platform is secure, no missing nuts and bolts. All mounting bolts and locking pins are present and in place. It's not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. Then we're going to go to our fifth wheel apron. Excuse me, not the apron, but the fifth wheel skid plate. Fifth wheel skid plate, again, is securely mounted to the platform. All mounting bolts are present. The locking bolts and pins are present and securely in place. The skid plate is properly greased, and again, it's securely mounted. We want to talk about the trailer apron. That's this big plate. It is securely mounted. It is not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. We want to talk about the kingpin. Of course, you can't even see the kingpin, but you mentioned that the kingpin is mounted securely. It's not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. You want to also tell them that you're checking that the kingpin is all the way up in the skid plate and that the locking jaws are completely around the kingpin. And make sure that, again, I don't know if I said it, but there's no gap between the skid plate and the apron. And then last but not least, you check your release arm and your safety latch is fully engaged. Okay, then we're going to talk about the trailer framing. Make sure you tell them it's no cracks, no holes, no weld repair. Then we're going to talk about our catwalk. That's what this is called, the catwalk. Again, it's free of obstructions. It's secure, no missing nuts and bolts, not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. I want to point down and talk about your drive shaft and your universal joints. Again, if you can't see this, what we're going to have to do is go over it one day at a lesson. Tell them the drive shaft and the universal joints are secure. There's no missing nuts and bolts. They're not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. And there's no debris. Okay? We're going to come up. We're going to talk about the front of the trailer. Most people call this the header board. Inspecting the header board or front of the trailer. No major cracks, no major damage, no holes. Okay? Then we're going to talk about our air lines and our electrical lines. First, we got to mention that the electrical line is securely locked in place at the trailer and also at the tractor. The air line is not worn, and there's no bare wires exposed. Come up, I'm sorry, electrical line. I think I might have said the air line, but this is the electrical line. The air lines are the blue and the red. You want to tell them they're securely connected at both ends on the tractor and the trailer. They're not worn, they're not leaking. Make sure the air lines are not crimped, cut, chafed. Then we want to mention that our glad hands, first we would tell them we check the rubber grommet in the glad hand is not worn. Make sure the glad hand is securely locked in place and it's not leaking. Okay, from there we're going to go down and talk about our fuel tank. First I would tell them I check my fuel tank cap. I check the rubber gasket's not worn. Make sure the cap's secure, not leaking. Make sure the fuel tank is mounted securely. No missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. Make sure you tell me check all your fuel lines are secure, not worn, not leaking. Okay? Talk about your steps. Steps are secure. No missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. Talk about your handrail. Secure. No missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, broken or worn. I'm going to talk about, I think I might have missed it. Well, never mind. Forget that. Let's get that later. I want to come up and I want to talk about my door. First, I want to tell them that the door opens and closes from the outside. I want to talk about the door seal is firmly intact. It's not worn, fully intact, not worn. Talk about the hinges. Secure, no missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. Okay. Again, the door opens and closes properly. And this is the only thing you actually have to do is open this door. You don't have to actually do anything else. The whole outside is basically talk. I want to tell them I'm checking my mirrors on my brackets. Secure. No missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. We already told them that the mirrors were properly adjusted. The glass was clean, not cracked. Coming down.
Check all your mirrors the same.
All of them. Okay, my wife is saying, like I say, she knows a lot more than me. Make sure you check all your mirrors in the same manner. On the fender mirrors and your side view mirrors. Okay, give me a second. I want to make sure I don't miss nothing. Talked about the framing, the cross members, drive shaft and universal joints, the air lines, electrical lines, front of the trailer. Like I say, this is usually called a header board on a flatbed. So, okay. So now I'm coming down here. We've already talked about the second axle, but I want to mention the splash guards and mud flaps. They're secure, no missing nuts and bolts, not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. You might have noticed I went right past the battery box, but now that you no longer have to talk about the battery box, so it's no sense talking about something we don't need. Splash guards, mud flaps, okay? Again, if you want to see the kingpin up in the fifth wheel and the locking jaws completely around it, that would have to be something you would have to have a flashlight and you actually get underneath and check it out. I'm going to mention that you check your trailer framing and cross members. First, there's no broken or missing cross members. There's no weld repair to the frame. It's secure. No missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. Check my landing gear. First, I want to make sure that the landing gear operates properly. It raises and lowers. It's securely mounted. No missing nuts and bolts. It's not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. I want to mention that the landing gear is in a fully raised position before leaving. Also, I want to make sure that your handle is securely locked in place. Okay, I'm going to check the side of the trailer. Make sure there's no major damage to the side of the trailer. I want to make sure that it has the proper amount of reflectorized tape. Okay, come on down. I got a side cargo door. So again, I want to talk about it. It's a point. Talk about the door and the hinges mounted securely. No missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. Want to check that the door opens and closes properly. It also locks properly. And I would check the rubber seal or gasket is fully intact, not worn. Coming down here towards the back. We're almost done. Like I say, you're going to have to really watch this video because they don't expect you to crawl underneath the truck and get dirty and stuff like that. They do expect you to do the inside. They do expect you to open the door and things like that. But most of this is just talking about. Again, my trailer mud flap. Secure, no missing nuts and bolts. Not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. Come around to the back. Check my trailer door and hinges are secure, no missing nuts and bolts, not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. You want to make sure that the trailer door raises and closes properly. Also that it locks properly. And then, really, the last thing back here is my lift gate, which is a point, so we will talk about it. Check my lift gate, operates properly, it raises and lowers. It's in the fully raised position when secure. It's not bent, cracked, broken, or worn. And it's not leaking because this is a hydraulic lift, so it could leak and that would present a problem. And then really the last thing I want to mention back here in the back is my rear reflectorized tape. Because that'll get you a point. We're trying to get as many possible points as we can to get through this picture. I'm pretty sure we need 68. Okay, so.
Reflector.
Okay, now we're going to do the last step of this. We're going to turn on and do the light check. So let's walk up front. We're going to start by checking, excuse me, the headlights and the four-ways. So I'm just going to open my door, turn my headlights on, turn my four-ways on, and go to the front of the truck. Okay, here we go. Checking the headlights. They work properly. The lenses are the proper color. They're clean. They're not cracked or broken. I'm going to check my four-way indicators are working properly, both on the driver's side and the passenger side. They're the proper color amber. They're secure, not cracked or broken. Up top, I'm checking my trailer clearance lights are working properly. They're the proper color amber, and the lenses are not cracked or broken. So that's what we need to know, that the light works properly, it's the proper color, make sure you tell them, and that the lenses are not cracked or broken. I'm going to come down the driver's side here, point out the clearance lights on the trailer are working properly. They are the proper color amber. They are secure, not cracked or broken. My side indicator on my tractor is working properly. Again, the proper color amber. The lens is not cracked or broken. Check my trailer reflector up front, and it is the proper color amber. It's secure. It's not cracked or broken. Okay. In the back of the truck, I want to check my four-way lights are working properly. The lens is the proper color red to the rear, and it's not cracked or broken. My tail lights are also working properly. They're the proper color red, and the lens is not cracked or broken. Coming on down here, I think I mentioned about the reflectorized tape on the side of the trailer. In the back here, I got a marker light, which is the proper color red. It works properly. The lens is secure, not cracked or broken. Got a reflector, proper color red. It's not cracked or broken, and it's secure. In the back, up top, I got my clearance lights, proper color red. Why? Because they're at the rear. The lenses are not cracked or broken, and they're securely mounted. Then my four-way lenses, proper color red. They're working properly. The lens is secure, not cracked or broken. Now I'm going to do my tail lights. Again, they're working properly. They're the proper color red to the rear. They're secure, not cracked or broken. Okay, so then what I'm going to do, and we're not going to go all around this, I would do the, actually, I'm sorry, we got to go up the passenger side, because there are lights over here. Passenger side marker light is proper color red. It's working properly. It's not cracked or broken, and it's secure. Reflector, and I'm not sure if we have to do this, but I just want to cover myself. Passenger side reflector is the proper color red. It's secure. It's not cracked or broken. Got a reflector here in the middle. Proper color amber. Secure. Not cracked or broken. We don't have to mention the doors or nothing because we talked about them on the other side. If you want, you can say check the cargo door on the passenger side, just like I did the driver's side, but I don't see a need for that. Up front here in the trailer, again, we got a front reflector of the trailer, the proper color amber, secure, not cracked or broken.
Clearance light.
Clearance light, again, is working properly. It's the proper color amber. It's secure, and the lens is not cracked or broken. My right indicator is working properly. It's the proper color amber, and it's secure, not cracked or broken. Now, I might be repeating myself a lot, but trust me, I'd rather see you repeat and say a little too much than not say enough and not get the point. Now what I would have to do is come up here and turn off the four ways, turn on the right blinker and the high beam. And then what I would do is go down the passenger side, start in the front, and do the high beams in the front, and then go down the passenger side, checking all the lights and lenses that are lit, and then come back in and turn off the headlights, give a left blinker, go down the driver's side, same. So if you're not sure of this, let me know. And do all the lights on this side, and then when you're in the back, you're talking about the left blinker and all in the rear of the trailer, you're going to say, now the last light I need to check and I need your help is my brake lights. And he'll say, okay, well, I'll stay here and I'll watch. And you just come up and hit the pedal and the brake lights will work. And then he'll say, you're good. At that time, we should be completed the pre-trip. Okay, now I'm not sure how much time it took me to do this. It is difficult, trust me, it's really difficult. I thought I had this down to a science, and then when you start talking about it, you get your mouth goes faster than your mind, which is not a good thing. So you're going to have to watch this thing faithfully at least 50 times. Also, go in your CDL manual, section 11, and go over that section about what's in the pre-trip. Because if there's something in the pre-trip and I'm not talking about, you need to say, hey, Mr. Bill, how about this? Okay, and then we can talk about that. Because we got to get through the pre-trip before we can do anything else. So, again, inside, we did the air brake check, and we actually had to do it. We said what we were going to do. Step one, we're going to make sure the air pressure gauge works properly by building up to 120 and cutting off. Then we did that. Step two, we turned the engine off, but we left the key on. Step three, we pushed in the red and yellow valve. Step four, we squeezed the brake pedal for a minute. We didn't lose more than 4 pounds of air. Step five, we fanned the brakes to 60. The low air warning come on. This would not have happened if when we did step two, killed the engine, we didn't turn the key back on. And got to click it all the way to the right. Once you got down to 40, we mentioned that the low air warning come on. So now we want to do step 6, fan the brakes to 20, and the red and yellow valve popped out. Again, 9 times out of 10, they're going to pop out together. Once in a while, one will pop out, and you have to keep pumping the brakes a little bit more to get the other one pumped. And then, like I say, and I just found this out, now step 7, they want to hear you tell them, okay, I'm going to restart the engine, make sure the compressor builds up back up to 120 and cuts out. And then basically, while you're doing that step, you can do all your in-cab. Your heater, your defroster, your wipers and all, that was all done. The horns, the left and right, stuff like that. Few things we didn't have to do, like the windshield, make sure you tell them it's clean, there's no obstructions. Didn't have to really say, we just told them we checked our mirrors are properly adjusted. The glass is clean, not cracked. We told them we had a fully charged, properly rated fire extinguisher. We had 3 reflectorized triangles. We have spare fuses. We told them that our seatbelt was not worn, torn, or frayed, but remember, we actually have to show them that it locks and releases properly. That's important. I'm going to ask my wife now if there's anything she thinks I need to cover. She's shaking her head. I don't think she thinks I did a real good job. But I do believe if you watch this video at least 50 times, it'll get you through this pre-trip. So, again, my name is Bill. I am the CDL instructor for the Drive Right Driving School. You can call me at 410-925-9644. And that's pretty much it. All I can say is just be careful and drive safely. Cut.